Hello everyone, my name is Ben Rogers, and today I will be reviewing a movie called Creed, which is a 2014 movie directed by Patrick Brice in his directorial debut, and which also stars Patrick Brice and Mark Duplass in the lead roles. Although this movie could easily be considered a horror film, there is a certain level of ambiguity from the outset of this movie that makes the film feel similar to real life, in which there is no set of genre and events simply happen to people, which is largely due to the documentary style of the filming, in which the film appears to be generated from the main character's camera. Nevertheless, there are many elements specific to horror and suspense which pull this film in the direction of the horror genre, especially due to the documentary style of filming. There's an overall feeling of inclusion of the viewer in the intimate moments between the main characters. There's also a sense of seeing something you shouldn't necessarily be seeing, which can be attributed to the style of filming. In addition, there's a sense of realism and understatement in the acting of the main characters that contributes to the documentary style. The film also uses the trope of a single protagonist venturing into a potentially creepy location of the woods to signal that this may be a horror film. In addition, there are also plenty of jump scares and disturbing visuals and conversations to make this feel like a horror movie. The horror and tension in this movie arises from character-driven conflict that will leave viewers questioning the truth behind the presentation of the film's characters. The movie begins with the basic premise of Aaron, an online filmmaker answering an ad to film a man named Joseph, who lives alone in a pleasant house in the wilderness, which is where the movie follows our protagonist as he travels to meet this man. Aaron quickly becomes enchanted with Joseph's eccentric but warm personality and agrees to help film Joseph, who has a tragic and enduring backstory that serves as the reason for Joseph's request in being filmed. A number of unsettling occurrences and revelations between the characters create tension between them, which unravels throughout the rest of the film. As these events unfold, viewers will likely remain uncertain of the motivations driving one of the two characters' questionable and upsetting behavior until the end, which adequately answers this question. Overall, I feel as though the interpersonal approach that the film took to generate its plot and horror elements felt unique and effective. Much of the horror and suspense comes from a traditional source of placing characters in unknown situations in isolation, but the relationship between the film's characters gave this idea a fresh perspective. The setting of this movie works well for transitioning between a source of beauty and a source of horror and isolation, depending on where the relationship between the central characters are at any given moment. It also adds tension and raises the stakes between the characters, as it reminds viewers that help is nowhere to be found. Besides this, there's also an element of quirkiness and fun in this movie, which for me is added by the acting of Mark Duplass. I think his acting was really great, believable, and he was really able to alternate between giving a comedic performance and a very creepy and uncomfortable performance. I also felt the interactions between Aaron and Joseph kept the viewers entertained and guessing where the story might lead. There are plenty of shocking moments of intrigue, and a prime example is one of the closing scenes of this movie, which is very well done. It consists of a single long shot, and in this moment I think that the documentary style really pays off as well, as the lack of music and non-diegetic sounds really enhances the scene. Unfortunately, the second act of this movie loses quite a bit of the momentum built up by the creepiness of the first act. I felt that the story itself kind of drags on at this point. The characters become separated and the film focuses on just one character alone in his apartment. I felt like at this point there could have easily been 20 minutes that were just cut out of the film and it could have been a better film. It also feels contrived because one of the characters really should have realized that he was in a creepy and life-threatening situation and should have just sort of gotten out of the reach of the other character. Overall, I felt that this was a very fun film that is of much higher quality than many other fun or campy horror movies. I would recommend it not just to horror fans, but fans of movies with elements of mystery, especially of elements of figuring out the intentions of characters. I felt it had a very smart, creepy, and comedic edge, and really explores the creepy possibilities of the internet and video age.